what's up guys, it's Girl Hands. I've got another TDM gameplay on the map Thrashball, and I know I've been using this map a lot recently for my gameplays. I promise I've got other gameplays on different maps. It's just this game in particular works really well as a backdrop for what I want to discuss today. I'm sure you guys know this, but Gears is jam-packed with some pretty awesome features, and I'm not 100% sure, I'm like 99% sure. I think Gears of War 3 is the best-selling title in the entire series. And that doesn't really surprise me when it's got features like Horde 2.0, Beast Mode, the conclusion to the single-player campaign, and a really awesome competitive multiplayer. And people have picked it up for different reasons. I know people who picked it up for single-player, and that's all they want to do. They just want to see how the story ends. They're not interested at all in the multiplayer. And there's people on the other end of the spectrum where the only reason they pick this game up is for the multiplayer, and I kind of fall into that category. I realized I wanted to pick this game up when I first started playing the beta for a couple of reasons. The first one is that it's just challenging. It takes me kind of out of my comfort zone. I'm not really used to this style of gameplay, so it's definitely difficult. It makes it a little bit more competitive because I'm just not as good at this game. So I like that aspect of it, just learning how to get good at this type of shooter. And the other reason, this is the biggest reason why I wanted to pick this game up, and I realized it fairly quickly as I was playing the beta. You guys probably just saw an example of it. You can't really hear my teammates because I'm sure my commentary is drowning out the game sound. But at the beginning of this game, before it started, everybody was communicating with one another. Everybody had kind of a set route to take. I think we had 2 people going incendiary grenades, 2 people going digger launcher, and 1 person going to concession. I think that's what we did. Maybe 2 people went concession. I don't remember. But the guys that went concession, they called out that the entire enemy team is pushing the concession stands, which isn't really that surprising. Normally, at least 3 people head to the concessions. They like to hunker in there and camp for the entire game, but knowing that the entire enemy team is rushing there, it gave Smoke and I the opportunity to quickly grab the digger launcher at the center of the map, uncontested, and we knew to immediately flank up behind them. Caught him off guard, we pinched him, and took out the entire enemy team without any of us losing any lives at all. So it's the communication aspect of it, the kind of the strategy, and the fact that you have to think a little bit more whenever you're playing this game. It's not strictly running and gunning and just running around and working on reflexes and impulse. It's almost a little bit more cerebral, I guess, like having to think about all your actions and communicating with your team and knowing where the enemy is and marking where they are. I love that aspect of the game, and it's something that I don't really see a lot of other shooters doing in this day and age, at least on consoles. I think of the game that is most guilty of this. Right here, I'm like spasming out. I don't know why that happened. But the game that I think is most guilty of this is Call of Duty. That game is designed just strictly more from a casual sense. If you want to play by yourself and you know what you're doing, you can probably do just fine. I mean, there isn't really, whenever I'm playing by myself in public lobbies, I don't even need to turn my mic on. There's nobody really communicating with one another, and they're just all doing their own thing. Even in objective-based game modes, people don't really cover each other. People don't have any sense of strategy. But when I play solo in Gears, I've noticed more people are communicating, and there's just a greater sense of strategy. I'm not saying that call-outs and strategy doesn't exist in Call of Duty either. I'm sure in more competitive aspects like game battles and MLG, that happens all the time. But in just normal public settings, that's not the norm whenever you're playing that game. And it certainly helps to have a team whenever you're playing. It makes the game a lot easier. I know whenever I play with a full team, the game's a lot easier to win matches. But even still, the most communication we do is like, hey, there's a guy over there, hey, I'm going to grab B. But everybody kind of works on autopilot. They just do whatever they want. They run around, they rack up kills, and 9 times out of 10 we win. And I'm not just picking on Call of Duty. That's not the only game that does it. Even Battlefield 3, the beta I've been playing, I noticed not a whole lot of people are communicating with one another. I noticed that people kind of just try to run around. They don't really care about the objective. People aren't really covering each other. So it kind of exists in that game as well. So yeah, it's not just Call of Duty. I've just noticed a general trend, and it sucks. It's one of the reasons why I really like playing this game, because it's, everybody has to rely on each other. Everybody has to, if you want to grab a power weapon, somebody has to cover you, maybe throw out a smoke grenade and give you support fire. And right here, I realized the entire enemy team quit, so I'm just kind of pissed shooting in the air. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this game sometimes. Like, we'll start playing a team, they'll all quit out, and it'll just leave the lobby filled with bots. Kind of sucks because it doesn't repopulate the lobby. We actually have to back out and research all over again. So yeah, that kind of sucks about that game. Hopefully they'll get it fixed. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know why you guys ended up picking up Gears of War 3. And like always, take it easy.